Story time! Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Katie and Hamish's wedding day. Hamish's wedding day. First, let me give you a tip about getting parent albums. Here's the real wedding album. Here's the parent album. A little bit smaller. Get those Christmas gifts sorted already. Katie and Hamish got ready at the same hotel just 5 minutes from the venue where they had their ceremony and the reception. Hamish is an Australian living in Norway, and his groomsmen and friends are from Germany and the United States. And here they are in the room getting ready together. I was photographing this wedding alone, and since Katie was at the same hotel, I just alternated between the rooms. And luckily, I was in Katie's room when her maid of honor started to become emotional. When Hamish saw this silhouette photo of himself, he asked, how the hell did I manage to capture that shot? He didn't notice it. I could see that he was perfectly framed by the highlight in the window, and I positioned myself to try to capture him, framing him in this bright highlight. And when I do these kind of photos, I always try to make sure there are separation between his face and the background, and you can also see his hand and parts of his bow tie. And even though he is a silhouette, you can see what he's doing and what this looks like and who he is. You see his beard and his nose and his forehead. He's recognizable as himself. So I actually took 11 photos just to get this one photo of him doing that. Katie's mom helped her with her dress. And if you're close with your parents, it's always nice to bring your parents in on the morning of your wedding day to get some extra photos and some more casual photos that are not stiffly posed. Katie loves this photo of herself spraying perfume, and I just captured her in this beautiful light while she was waiting for her maid of honor to get ready. They chose to have the ceremony and the reception at the same venue, as opposed to having the ceremony in a church where everyone is a visitor in God's house and it can feel a little bit more stiff and formal. Having the ceremony at the same venue as the reception just gives a totally different vibe. Just look at all these photos of families and friends. Some of them are meeting for the first time and someone are seeing each other again, and they're smiling and hugging and laughing. My clients love these kind of photos where they see a lot of faces of their families and friends. When Katie arrived at the venue with her dad, Hamish and his groomsmen, they hid in a room at the side, and Katie and her dad had to sneak past them so they wouldn't see each other before the ceremony. But before the wedding, Katie specifically asked me to edit some of the photos in black and white, which I normally don't do that often. I prefer color photos, but if I do black and white, I think there should be a reason for it. The way I think about photography and album design for your wedding is kind of like a movie. So let's say the ceremony is a scene from a movie, and it would make more sense that all of the photos from the ceremony are black and white, instead of one photo being in color in here. It wouldn't look good. It wouldn't match the design. So I chose to edit all the photos from the ceremony in black and white so that in the album it looks cohesive and it looks like it's supposed to be that way. It's for a reason. And here they are seeing each other for the first time. I always try to capture my clients' unique personalities, and I just love this photo of Katie pointing at Hamish and laughing. I think it perfectly encapsulates who they are. Just look how beautiful and cohesive it all looks when flipping through the pages and all of the photos are in the same color, look and feel, in this case black and white. And here you can see the parents and grandparents, they're looking in towards where it's happening. Do you want to have a personal touch on your ceremony? Then listen to this. Katie and Hamish, they had Katie's boss officiating them. And in reality, they signed the papers at the courthouse the day before the wedding. And here they did call it a mock ceremony in front of their friends and family to put it all together, make it official. Her boss was free to make it his own, and it partially turned into a roast, which was so fun. Just look at them. They read their vows to each other, which I think more Norwegians should do, and they finally became husband and wife. First kiss, walking down the aisle. They forgot to plan how to cut the cake or what to do during this part of the day. So they ended up having one of the staff members helping them cut the cake. And they didn't want her in the album, but it turned into a funny scenario. A little bit of confusion and laughter, and they just made fun of it all, and it was really cool. Then we did some group photos. It was really windy, so I tried my best to find a place with less wind and a nice clean background and do all of these different setups. And then quickly after the group photos, we did some portraits. They had already done an engagement shoot with me that I do with all of my clients. So they know what to do. They know how to pose in front of the camera, and they have been photographed by me before. So this is a really easy part of the wedding day. We're basically just walking around, finding cool spots, beautiful places, beautiful light. They had prepared a bingo that all of the guests could do before dinner time, and they were mingling around, and the bingo contained some fun facts about various guests, so they had to walk around and find out who this fun fact belonged to. It was pretty cool. And that gave people a reason to walk around and not sit around in the same group that they came with. And it's also a great chance for me to capture many different guests in action. So there's a reason for me to photograph them doing these things. And then look at this. It looks pretty in an album spread. They didn't want everyone to sit around the tables listening to speeches all night, so the speeches were very limited. They only wanted to include one of the speeches here in the album. And again, all of the speeches were edited in black and white. Stand up and kiss. In this wedding, I experienced a new twist on the shoe game. So all of the guests were involved as well, and they had to go to one or the other side depending on who they thought the question was about. So they were sitting here and the guests were moving back and forth, and that gave me an idea to try to do a real life moment version of a photo that is very trendy nowadays in 2023. So the trendy photo is usually the bride and groom standing still, and then the wedding party is moving around them. And the photographer is using a long shutter speed to make all of the bridal party kind of blurred in the photo. I think trendy things are pretty cheesy, but trying to one-up those trends by doing something a little bit different, it kind of suits me a little bit more. So I thought this was a cool way to do a twist on a twist. And then we went out during blue hour. There was no sun on this windy day, it was very cloudy, but by bringing a flash out, having a guest help me holding the flash, then I could really enhance the blue color of the sky. Just look at this epic photo down by the sea. And then the dance floor. One of the guests had a broken foot and he just did a handstand on the dance floor, and I was not ready. So this was the photo that I captured, but I chose to deliver it because it was so fun. And Katie and Hamish, they chose to keep it in the album. I thought it was really fun. And the dance floor is also a place where I can capture a lot of guests in action. I just love freezing the energy on the dance floor. And I also love this photo of Katie and her mom. It's beautiful. And then quickly back to album design. Just look at the colors and the feel of all the photos in this page. And all the colors look and feel on the previous page. I really make an effort to make all of the pages make sense so they belong together. The photos on one spread, 2 pages like this, tell one story. They have the same color, look and feel. Sometimes during the dance floor, you can actually see what song they're dancing to. What song is this? Let me know in a comment if you can see what song they are dancing to. And then, as always, the last photo to put an end to the album. A more artistic interpretation of a portrait where I often play with colors and light and try to make something that is a bit more unique for each couple. Here in this photo, we went down in the basement. So the line you see here, that's actually the railing for the staircase to go downstairs. So that's it. Let me know what you think about the story in a comment.